Mm,
Why do you want to judge you?
I guess that's what I learned to do
Who taught you?
with my parents, my family.
Well, how old were you when you first saw somebody judge themselves and you?
I don't remember, but I guess pretty young.
Oh, young.
I don't know, 4 maybe.
4?
Yeah.
What happened at 4 that you felt like you weren't good enough for? Because that's what you said, right? Not good enough. But when do you feel good enough?
When when I accomplish something, or when I feel like I'm doing something good, I guess.
How long does that last?
Just a moment.
Not long.
No.
Why? Why is it not long?
I guess because it's just material. Like it's just a moment.
Do you believe that there's one moment other than the one we're in right now?
No.
So when you say one moment, you mean this one.
Well, I didn't mean that, but now I get it. Yeah.
Does it feel like that's what you mean? It kind of feels like that's exactly what you mean. Like this moment is the one that sucks. This moment's the only. I hate this moment because I'm not good enough for it. Really? What proof do you have?
I don't have any proof.
In your whole life, up until this moment, you've had no proof that you're not enough.
Yeah, no.
Not even a little.
No.
Who looked at you and told you that was the truth?
It's just myself.
That self that's allowed to betray you like that, and you're allowing it. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
You're doing that to your feelings, and you say that's okay. This is going to show people I can love them. Is that what you mean? How,
Yeah.
how does that allow you to love anyone if you're doing that to you?
It's not.
So people aren't allowed to have your love. They're not good enough for you. You're so good enough that you shut yourself down, and nobody can love you because they're not good enough to love you. You do realize that, right? Tell me who's good enough to love you if you're feeling that way about yourself. You're not good enough, right? Tell me
Yeah.
how it enables anybody to love you.
It doesn't.
So how do you tell them they're not good enough?
By closing up.
Oh, you don't tell them? Why don't you just tell them? You're not good enough to love me.
Well, because it's not true.
Well, yeah, it is. You're telling yourself you're not good enough to be loved, right?
Yeah.
You're doing that to you. You said nobody else. It was you who's made that decision. Is that not true?
Yeah.
Okay. When you made that decision, did you tell yourself that everybody you ever loved affected by that or not?
Oh, you got like
What it
the
does,
correction.
doesn't it?
The correction is getting.
You, you made that a so everybody outside of you making that decision to tell yourself you're not good enough, they don't have a voice with you, right?
Yeah. Sorry, the connection is getting unstable.
Yeah. I'll say that's exactly what that does, make the connection unstable. Yeah. And you're doing that, right? Because you're not good enough. You're not good enough. Does it hurt people who love you?
Yeah.
And you're okay doing that to them?
No.
Do your actions support that it's a no?
No.
Are you going to do anything to change that?
Yeah.
Like what?
Telling myself that I'm good enough.
Do you ever really have to be good enough?
No.
Just like you never have to be not enough. It's just a
Yeah.
game you could play in your mind if you wanted to. And does it make you feel good when you do that game?
No.
Then fuck the game, dude. You know what I mean? It's just what it feels like, right? Why aren't you allowed to just go, you know what? I'm deciding that I don't like to think like that anymore. And because I don't like thinking that way, I've decided that from now on, I'm going to love the things I don't like. Nobody's stopping you from making that choice either. It kind of what could happen to you if you just if you really sat in your pain and accepted it. Because when have you ever tried that?
Just recently. Well,
It-
at least Amy always tells me that I might have a problem on accepting things.
what do you
Like
mean?
I don't know how to accept things.
Do you accept that you're telling yourself you're not enough? You were accepting that, weren't you?
Yeah.
So how is she right?
Yeah. Hmm.
I know it's a real fucked up way to look at it, but it's the truth. You have a way of accepting that you're not enough. Does she know that you do that? She just sees you not accepting what? That she doesn't listen to you? Well, you don't listen to you either. Do you like telling yourself you're not enough?
No.
And you accept that you've been doing that.
No.
Really? Did you start off today saying you weren't enough?
No.
Oh, so if we rewind this back and watch it from the very beginning, we're not going to hear you say, I'm not enough.
I guess I didn't notice that I was saying that.
You mean you're consciously aware you did it now?
Yeah.
Did you feel like that was unconscious or conscious of you when you did that?
Unconscious.
Welcome to a conscious connection. This is what it's like. It's like if somebody was paying attention to your feelings, would they let you treat your feelings the way that you do it when nobody's watching? If you don't allow your feelings to be important, would that allow anybody to love you?
Oh,
Hmm. Do you know why you do this?
no.
Oh, who made your feelings important growing up?
No one.
How did you feel about that?
Betray.
Is betrayal a feeling or is pain the feeling and betrayal is what you did to the pain? Because why didn't you open up when you were in pain?
So I wasn't taught how to.
So you taught yourself how to reject yourself? Because that's the choice you made, isn't it?
No.
Oh. Who in your life was rejecting themselves so you could repeat it?
With my mom and my dad too.
Oh. Oh, you saw the love between them or you saw the fighting between them?
Yeah, I guess if I
You see them love each other at all?
right now, yeah.
Now, you see them love each other. What about then?
about them. I don't I don't remember see them like
So what you did see, what you remember you did see was them fighting.
I saw more like I felt more separation,
Yeah, yeah. And when you saw that and you felt that separation, how did that feel in you?
disconnect.
Yeah. Did it hurt?
Yeah,
Did you tell anyone?
no.
Why not? How's anybody going to love you if you didn't open up and tell someone?
I I guess I did tell Amy about this, but maybe not
Right. And
in
you went all those years stuffing this down and you let all of that out on Amy? Was she the one that caused any of it?
no.
How did she accept that? How did you accept it? Because had you accepted it up until that point? How did you accept finally having somebody to open up to after all those years of not having it? How much pain do you think came out of you onto another person? Was
I
it
don't
fair to that person?
no
Do you know why it wasn't fair to that person?
no.
Because how did you love any of it?
I didn't.
When are you going to heal from that?
How can I love it? Like I just need to feel it.
When have you let yourself do that? Do you that had to feel it all? How does that not feel like betrayal? And who's doing that on the inside is you. Betrayal will follow you because you're doing that to yourself. You do see that, right? Oh, you don't see it. Here. You betray your feelings. Yes or no?
Yeah,
So wouldn't it attract somebody who'll come in and betray your feelings too?
yeah,
Because that's currently how you're loving yourself.
yeah,
Does that make sense to you?
yeah. That's what I'm attracted.
Yeah. And is that what you want?
No,
Is that what you need?
no.
What do you need?
Feel my pain. Someone that cares about my feelings.
When do you care about your feelings?
I don't.
Did you notice you didn't say now? I mean, in a conscious moment, the you that just answered was unconscious, but you do realize you didn't say now.
Yeah,
And when you feel into that, does that feel good?
no,
What does it feel like? Betrayal?
yeah.
Abandonment? Pure rejection. You're doing that to your feelings right now. Then you say that somebody's going to cheat on you. How are you not cheating on you? The betrayal you point at that is going to happen outside of you. How are you not doing that to you right now as we sit here and you feel into it? When are you not betraying your own feelings? And do you know how to connect to how that makes you feel and not hide it? And can you heal if you don't?
Okay.
What is healing to you?
Connecting with my pain
When you have pain, how do you let anyone connect to you?
by saying it.
Do you tell them what you need?
Yeah, that well, I need them to feel it with me, right?
When have you done that? When have you ever asked for that? And how do you tell yourself you love yourself if you don't? How do you tell yourself you could have any love if you don't? Do you see the betrayal?
Yeah.
Do you feel it?
Yeah.
We get this from some form of physical abuse, physical punishment, correction of some kind. We punish our feelings for things we do. Doesn't make sense, does it? There's nothing human about it. There's nothing connecting about it. It's a very strong disconnect. Because once you're made to feel that way, how do you forgive it? Do you
Mm,
even know what you even know what forgiveness would be in that space?
no.
And the no is what's keeping anything that forgiveness has to offer from you. Another form of betrayal. You can't go around expecting somebody to be connected to you if you're doing that to you, do you?
Yeah.
Why can't you change it? You're not even doing it for a reason that you can make sense of. Other than you just don't want your feelings to get hurt anymore. When did those feelings ever stop hurting?
Yeah. They haven't stopped.
Oh, do you know? Do you want them to stop?
Yeah.
What actions do you have that support that?
They don't.
And you're accepting that.
No.
Apparently you are, aren't you? I mean, if you really look at it, you're overly accepting this. Because when does it stop? When do you stop it?
No.
It's easy to be unconscious, isn't it? We realized we could heal that connection. The feelings don't have to go unanswered. I was just watching what you were doing to your feelings and pointing out what you were doing to them. What do you think you've been teaching people to do to your feelings if they've been watching you do the same thing? Accept you or reject you.
Exactly.
And you've been accepting that you've been rejecting you for a really long time.
Yeah.
And this made you not good enough.
Yeah.
But it made you good enough to not accept yourself.
Yeah.
So you're good enough to not accept yourself. And you're okay with that. It gets really blurry. And once you're unconscious in that unconscious state, connection is the furthest thing away from you because you don't believe opening up will let you have it. What if you're wrong? And there's a feeling in you. You can feel it. Why did you convince yourself nobody would care about your feelings?
Just be afraid of being loved, I guess.
Why afraid?
I don't know.
Do you even know what love feels like?
No.
Is your heart beating in your chest right now?
Yeah.
Are you having an experience where you're sitting with someone who's paying attention to your feelings?
Yeah,
How's that not love? Didn't you just say you're not letting yourself experience it, but yet you are? Which one do you let answer? The one who wants connection or doesn't?
the one that doesn't.
And how are you accepting connection to that disconnect? Because that's not what you want, nor what you need. You need connection.
Yeah,
How do you let yourself have it?
by feeling and let people feeling my feelings.
So if Amy was here and I said, Amy, does he open up and let you connect to his feelings? What would she say?
Just just today, I tried to. I actually told her that I need that her feeling my feelings.
Did you answer the question?
No,
Yeah. Why not?
so she would say no.
Yeah. You know why, right?
No,
How do you trust your mother with all of your feelings?
I don't.
Why would you let anyone else if you wouldn't even let your own mother, who gave birth to you? You came out of her body. She knows what you feel like to your core. She created you, and she doesn't get to feel your feelings anymore. Do you consider that connection?
No,
You know how deep connection goes?
no,
Right. You're abandoning it. For who?
no.
You're doing this for no one.
Yeah,
Hmm. Do you believe in true love?
I do.
How does that play into it? What you said just before.
It does.
So it rejects it and your ability to have it.
Yeah,
What do you think that makes the other person feel like?
betray, not good enough.
Huh. So that shit just spills all over the place. Not feeling not good enough. And then you pass that feeling to a person you say you love or a person you want to be with. And they feel that and they say, this is love or this isn't love. What is this?
Yeah, it's in love.
You ever hope that somebody would love you better than the way you love yourself?
Yeah,
Did you know you're nowhere near that?
yeah, no, no.
What do you want to do about it?
Love myself.
Then stop listening to the way you think. Start paying attention to how you're thinking. Disconnects you from your feelings. If you can stop that, wouldn't you have peace?
Yeah,
And that's something you could have internally.
yeah,
Would anybody be able to take that away from you?
no,
Oh, would you ever have jealousy then?
no.
So you mean you know how to cure this? You know what the cure is? Hmm.
Just stop listening to my mind.
When did your mind ever give a shit about your feelings?
Doesn't.
Oh, so why you listen to it?
Because that's what I learned.
Oh, and feeling is life or thinking is life. Which one do you live
Feeling is life, but I live in thinking.
in? You see how quickly you betrayed it? You wanted to say feeling, right?
Yeah,
That's why you said it first. And then you made sure that you pointed to what you choose. Who's that for?
No one.
Does your father do that?
So what? Like,
Listen to his head, not pay attention to his feelings.
yeah, both of them.
Oh, both your mother and your father.
Yeah. My mom is, she thinks in like worst case scenarios and she gets anxious. And
How does that make you feel?
well, now that I'm more conscious, it's just stressful. It's like I don't want that.
But if you accept it, how long does it last?
Just a moment.
I'm sorry?
Just a moment.
Oh, but if you just reject it, how long does it last?
I guess as much as I want.
Yeah. And which one's suffering and which one's surrender?
Accepting and surrender.
Oh, and you don't surrender. And it makes her reject it. Oh, and you do this to your mother. How do you not do that to Amy?
Yeah,
How do you not do that to Amy?
I don't.
So you know you're doing that.
Oh, I know now.
Yeah. And how do you feel about yourself knowing you do that?
Bad, betray. Like I can do better.
Did you notice you didn't say innocent? Because I didn't realize I was doing it. Did you notice that didn't come out of you at all? Did you hear what you got instead? Did it sound like that person is there to connect you or disconnect you?
Disconnect
And how much energy did you just given?
all my energy.
Wow. Wow. And you don't see that as betrayal.
I don't know.
Oh, unconsciousness is an affection far past what we even talk about because you'd have to be conscious to know what we're talking about. And consciousness is in connection, not away from it. So you letting yourself be here and letting your feelings be felt by everyone who's watching, showing them that you can wake up. When are you going to make that mean something? Who does that? Somebody who's looking to wake up or somebody who knows that they're destined to?
Somebody who's destined to
Hmm.
wake up.
Too much responsibility just now?
Not really. I want to
Hmm.
wake up
Why?
why why I want to,
Yeah, why do you want to wake up?
because I want to be the best man I can. I want to give a lot of love to me, to Amy. I want to heal all what I've been bringing up.
Will you need judgment to be the best that you are?
Yeah.
Does that feel connecting to you?
No.
Yeah. Like I said, unconsciousness is everywhere. It's when you realize that your connection to judgment isn't a real connection at all. It's just there to try to tell you who to be around people, how to get along with people, how not to let anyone love you. You know, judgment does a lot of things. But when has judgment ever really truly got someone loved?
Hasn't.
I've looked. I sat with as many people as I possibly could. The infection of judgment is so widespread, we don't even know that it's a disease, killing us off from being human with one another, even in ourselves. All you gotta do is get the infection inside of the self, heal that. And everybody in that vicinity of that person feels the impact of it. because you make feelings matter. But you won't make somebody else's feelings matter if you don't make your feelings matter. Do you realize that?
Yeah.
When do you make your feelings matter?
When I feel them.
Did you notice that the you that wants to say now wasn't available again? Did you notice that?
Yeah.
Me too. Where'd he go? As long as you feel this energy that says you're doing something wrong, that's how the judgment pulls you in. It's like it's fishing for you. If you looked at you sitting on a boat, let's say you and I are sitting on a boat, right? And we're up in your mind. And I'm going, when you drop that fishing pole into that water, do you know what kind of thoughts you're going to bring up? And do you think the water needs you to go pulling out words out of there? Or do you think the water just wants you to jump in and feel how good it feels? Because that's what you could choose. But of course, we won't see that because our mind is not programmed to do that. When did your mind say that it could love anyone?
Didn't.
Do you believe that you can use your mind to love someone? What do you need for you to love someone?
Follow my feelings.
Do you judge your feelings currently?
No.
How long can you go like that? More
Not that
than
long.
not that long.
No.
So the judgment comes through the back door. That's how quick it can happen, right? But what if you just started focusing on that? Wouldn't you be free?
Yeah.
And who's stopping you from that? Let me think about it. Look, that's how quick the mind is. The mind is going to disconnect you far before anybody else will. The mind will look for patterns. The mind will look for visuals. The mind will look for sense of smell. But we don't really pay attention to what it's doing to our feelings. Certain feelings trigger certain thought patterns. Those thought patterns are designed to inflict damage on you or heal you.
Thomas.
Interesting thing is, you could have chosen any answer other than the two that I gave you. There are a billion different choices, but you know which one you're choosing. That's how sure you are of it. You didn't choose any other word. So you know what you're doing to yourself for what purpose. When you saw them fighting before, your parents, when you saw them disconnected from one another, how did you tell yourself you came from love?
Just with my mind, I guess.
Did you believe it? Did it feel like what you came from was love?
Yeah. Like all this time I thought it was that. But now I can see that it's just pain.
So what's your answer?
So no, I didn't believe it.
Has that ever let anyone love you?
No.
You know what you're missing.
What?
The fact that you have to ask what means you know you're missing something. Pay attention to that. That's consciousness. And it's only asking you to feel into what is.
Mm. Love myself?
Can you heal what you don't let yourself feel?
No.
Where did you find that answer?
inside me.
You notice she didn't say felt it? Inside of me just points. Felt it speaks from the feeling, doesn't it?
Yeah,
See, hear, smell, touch, taste. What were you taught about those senses? Were you given an education in thought that didn't do anything with those senses? You had to figure those out on your own, right?
yeah,
And you were shown that if you smell something, you can smell coffee, right? You can taste something, you can taste garlic, right? Or onion or whatever you taste, right? If you see something, you can visually look at it. You can touch something and feel its texture. Feel happens in all of the senses. You could see something and feel something. You could taste something and feel something. You could smell something and feel something. Did you know that? It's the center of all of it. Helen Keller, ever heard of her?
no,
She couldn't see, she couldn't talk, and she couldn't hear. And yeah, she was all of her senses. That's all she had, which made her a genius because it's feeling based. Feeling is connection. Connection is feeling. How do you let yourself feel and not hide? That would be known as healing. Are you aware of that?
I'm
Can,
not. Um, I'm
can you
no.
feel what kind of difference that would make in your life?
Yeah,
When do you give yourself permission to have that?
no.
How long will it take before you abandon it? I know I heard my voice say not long because I have the same voice, man. You won't be by yourself if it keeps still fucking with you. Don't. That's not the point of why I'm sharing this. Why I'm sharing this is if you don't open up to somebody this way, how are you going to have connection if you don't? It's an exploration. What connection can do, what it's here for, what its purpose is. Why are we here? We've heard it to connect. Do you know how many people live it? I'm sorry?
You ask how many people live it?
Yeah.
I guess not many.
How are you living it?
Just by my mind. With my mind.
Your mind allows you to connect.
No,
So how are you living it in your mind?
I'm not living it.
You're suffering in it
Yeah,
because your mind knows how to connect or disconnect.
disconnect.
When did you train it to connect?
Now,
Permission. Permission is always now. Connection is it's fragile because it's vulnerable. Without vulnerability, we don't heal. Without vulnerability, we don't connect. Without innocence to both, we're missing it. We're missing what true love could be if none of that is available. Because can you have true love if you're disconnected from yourself?
no,
And when did your mind ever tell you that?
no.
Not programmed to. How do you feel about that?
Not that I've been betraying myself.
Are you going to focus on the betrayal or are you going to focus on the reconnect?
The reconnect.
Then fuck betrayal. Betrayal is good for one thing.
Is suffering.
Oh, okay, two things. See, it's going to be different for every person. I don't need to share what mine was. It's different for each person. Suffering, what is suffering to Amy?
In her mind, being judged.
You
Uh,
asked her, you asked her this question?
no,
Did you hear yourself answer for something she didn't?
yeah,
How does that include her?
doesn't.
Do you feel connected to her?
Yeah,
Is your disconnect from you keeping you from that?
yeah,
When did you tell her that?
I didn't.
If you decided to, would you be telling her because there's something about her that makes you want to change it? Or are you
Yeah,
just telling her, huh?
yeah.
You automatically knew that's the answer. You didn't even hear the other option.
What is the other option?
That you won't tell her because you don't feel good enough for her.
No, I want to tell her because I know she can change me.
Yeah, but you see what's kept you from it.
My disconnect.
Were you good enough for her according to you?
I am now.
But when were you telling yourself that?
No,
Yeah. So that stuck feeling you were feeling just now, now it has connection. You weren't doing anything wrong, just a hiccup. Some things that we get taught, especially if we know we don't know how to let somebody in or we don't know how to love someone, we start looking for ways to hurt them, not intentionally. But if you grew up having to love people who hurt you, it's kind of your love language, isn't it?
yeah,
You tell yourself what your love language is when you didn't realize you learned that first. The power of connection can change the way that you feel because it's all about your feelings and connection. There'll be no thoughts about that can make sense of that. That feeling that we all have when we're born. Other people are connected to us, usually a mom and a dad. And those feelings kind of vibrate into us. We don't ask for it, we just inherited it. Imagine your father not being there enough, leaves an absence in you. Not an absence that's your fault and an absence that you can explain, but it's an absence that hurts because you have feelings as a man and you don't know what to do with them. It's even worse as a woman. If she grows up having an absent masculine and she's the head of the household is feminine but very heavily masculine, there's almost a double disconnect. And then there's the space of a man wants to feel needed, right? If you grew up not needing a man, how do you tell yourself you need one? You see, the mind is going to always find all of these ways to break connection. None of your feelings do that. Your feelings need connection. Connection needs feelings. It's a two-way street. So how are you going to let yourself have connection with Amy?
by feeling my feelings and let her feel in mine.